case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In a landmark 1987 case, the United States Supreme Court was tasked with interpreting the Confrontation Clause, which guarantees a defendant's right to confront the witnesses against them. The case, Cruz v. New York, brought into question whether a co-defendant's confession could be used against them in a joint trial, even if the jury was instructed to disregard it. This legal conundrum originated when Eulogio Cruz and his brother Benjamin were charged with the murder of a gas station attendant. Benjamin confessed to the crime and implicated Eulogio. Despite Eulogio's objections, the judge permitted Benjamin's confession to be presented during the trial with the caveat to the jury not to use it against Eulogio. Eulogio was subsequently found guilty of murder. After the New York Court of Appeals upheld the conviction, the Supreme Court granted certiorari. This meant they would review the lower court's decision, particularly focusing on the question of whether the use of a co-defendant's confession corroborated by the defendant's own admission could violate the Confrontation Clause. Justice Scalia, writing for the majority, referred to previous cases to elucidate the rights of defendants under the Confrontation Clause. The court ruled that the introduction of a co-defendant's confession in a joint trial in principle contravened the Confrontation Clause. Significantly, they established that the validity of a confession bearing on the defendant was not an automatic precondition for its admission. The coherence of the confession was deemed irrelevant in dealing with the Confrontation Clause violation, but was considered for assessing its reliability as evidence or determining if the breach of the clause was a harmless error. The court rejected the approach of the Court of Appeals and handed the case back for further proceedings consistent with this seminal interpretation of the Confrontation Clause.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.